Hello. So for this video, we're going to be taking a look at a sample smog check vehicle inspection report. Now this is on an OIS or OBD2 inspection system smog check. So if you look at the very top of the VIR report, it's going to show the test time and date, the model year of the vehicle make, the vehicle model, as well as the VIN number for the vehicle being tested, the license plate, the license state, the certification type, which is usually on the emission sticker showing if it's California or federal or bar certification. It's going to have the odometer reading at the time of the smog test, the fuel type, whether it's gasoline or diesel, and the GVWR, which is the gross vehicle weight rating. So the middle section is going to show the overall test result. This particular report shows a passing score, and it shows, because this is a sample VIR smog check, no certificate has been issued on this particular one. Now going farther down, it's going to show the visual inspection result information. So on this portion of it, it's going to have inspection categories. The first one being air injection system. This particular Tacoma did not have air injection, so the result is not applicable, or NA. The next category is computers, sensors, switches, and wiring. Upon inspection, this category passed the visual inspection. The next category is exhaust gas recirculation, or EGR. This particular Tacoma did not have any EGR. EGR is primarily cars in the 90s may have that kind of technology. With the advance of variable valve timing, or VTEC, in Honda cars, it kind of eliminates the need for an EGR, which basically reroutes gas from the exhaust back into the intake and reduces NOx, which is created through combustion and high temperatures. The next inspection category, fuel metering system. This would be like a carburetor or fuel injection. This particular category, it got a passing score for the visual inspection. The next category, turbocharger or supercharger. A lot of the newer vehicles, they do have turbochargers for Toyota and for Honda. This particular Tacoma did not have a turbocharger or a supercharger, so the result was not applicable. The next inspection category for visual inspection, the catalyst. So the smog tech is going to look to make sure that they see the actual catalytic converter and that it is intact. So this particular Tacoma got a passing score on that. The next is crankcase emissions control. This Toyota Tacoma got a pass for crankcase emissions control. The next category is fuel evap system, or evap. And this one got a passing score as well, as it was present and it looked to spec. The next category is other emission related components or systems. This one had not applicable for the result. And then the final one is vacuum lines to sensor or switches. Just making sure all the vacuum lines that are supposed to be there are intact and working. And this car got a passing score for that category. So the next section here is the emissions control system functional check result. So for the OBD2, this is where you basically connect the OBD connector from the smog computer to the OBD2 port on the car, and you let it communicate with each other. If any check engine light or any kind of drive cycle not completed is present on the vehicle, then it will not get a passing score on this. This particular car did get a pass, passing score for the OBD2 functional test. And the liquid fuel leak check, as I mentioned in the other video, is something the smog technician will check, making sure there's no leaks under where the engine is located. And then the smoke check itself. This consists of the crankcase idle test, just letting the car idle and checking the crankcase to make sure there's no smoke coming from the PCV valve in that particular area of the engine. And of course the snap test, where the technician will rev the car to about 2,500 RPM 3 times and check to make sure no excessive smoke is lingering in the tailpipe area. And then the final section here, the report, it's going to have the smog check station information. So the station ID of where the smog check took place, as well as the inspector's name and ID, and the software version of the OIS computer system doing the smog check. Now, some of the information for this particular smog check has been omitted. This is on a real car done while I was taking classes for smog inspector. So some of the information is omitted just for privacy reasons, but this is generally what a VIR OIS smog check is going to look like. The only difference is it's going to have certificate information for the certificate being issued if the car passes the inspection. So I just wanted to run over all the different categories for visual inspection, emissions control functional tests, and basically the information that's going to appear for your vehicle itself. Now, one thing I didn't mention before is that most cars, they have an emissions label in the hood area of the car, and it clarifies the make and model of the car, the emissions that should be present on the car when doing a smog check, as well as whether the car is mandated to federal emissions control or California emissions control. Now, I strongly urge customers, if they don't have that label, to pick one up using their VIN number of their vehicle with the dealership of their make or model car. And the reason for that is that if you don't have that label, the smog check inspector is not going to fill your car, but instantly when they do a smog check, it's going to be checked on the California certification type, because no label is to show that it is federal. And your car may actually have to go through additional tests to get it to pass, which should be a pretty routine OIS smog check. So for $7, I definitely encourage customers to get a new label if they have one that's illegible or if they don't have that label on there. It's just going to make their life easier, and it's going to make things easier on their car to pass a California smog check. I want to thank you for watching. If you found this information to be useful or informative, please give a like to this video and share it with anyone that you know is going to be taking a smog test or has questions about the California smog check test. And feel free to leave any kind of comments, or if you have any questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching. This is the Cali Smog Guy.